What's going on, everybody? This is MasterGuil and welcome back to more Adastra. In the last episode, we had ourselves a little beach episode with Marco, Amicus, and Alexios. We went on to the little island just to have a little R&R. We got to know Alexios and Amicus a little more, and of course, Amicus ended up losing track of time, ended up being late to his little sparring session with Kato. They had a little training session. Kato absolutely folded Amicus, trying to teach him about the importance of running it for Emperor seriously against his brother Cassius. And we were also introduced to a couple of new characters, Amicus' sister Virginia and the Khemian Neferu, and then Amicus has his suspicions about Neferu and then things like that. We didn't really get a chance to get to know them. They were only on screen for like maybe a few seconds before we were escorted to Amicus' rooms so he can just like calm down, try to recover, try to relax, and try to take things seriously. So now we're in a time jump here. It seems like we've been here for about a week, sailing into the planet Adastra, and so we're going to continue where we left off, and I'm looking forward to what we have in store here. As I keep saying throughout the past 5 episodes, that we need to keep our eyes on the prize. I know we're starting to like Amicus and things like that. He seems like a chill dude and all that, but of course keep in mind he was the one that, put that lingua in our eyebrow, in our eye, so that we can understand it. He did knock us out like twice, kidnapped us from Earth, and took us here to become a pet to help him become emperor. So we do have to keep that in mind. So priorities need to be kept in check. So over the next week or so, I start to get used to my new life. I find that the days are easy to adjust to, and like Alex said, 19 hours in a day isn't all that bad. Though the sleeping period is a bit shorter than I'm used to, it's been easier now that I sleep on Amicus' bed. After I fall asleep next to him, we decided that there was enough room. The wolf set one of his many long pillows down between us as a courtesy to me, even if he did sometimes end up rolling over onto my end. He's been busy these past few days, and I think it's because of what happened between him and Kato. He doesn't suggest any more outings and instead wakes up early to go to meditation before leaving for the city to do various campaigning stuff. Amicus doesn't explain exactly what that involves, but he doesn't bring me along. I asked why, considering I thought my main job was to accompany him to these things, but he just says he's not doing the stuff that involves me quite yet. Instead, my introduction to the people of Adastra is going to be during the first trial. He says the reveal would be a lot more impressive that way, and that rumors are already spreading about his new pet. That's another thing, my involvement in the trial. Apparently, I'm to be his partner in the dance portion, something I have no clue how to do. I've been getting more and more worried about it, telling Amicus he actually needs to show me what I'm going to be doing, but he brushes me off, telling me it's no big deal. Okay. Now he's trying to run for emperor and stuff. I understand that he wants to have this grand reveal and stuff, but this is a little bit of neglect on Amicus' end. I understand that, you need to really focus on your duties on trying to win the people over so that you can properly become emperor and stuff, but if you want to win this first trial, you gotta be showing your boy how this going to work in order to be even more confident that we're a shoo-in to win the first trial. This is just not going to cut it. What is he doing? Apparently the dancing is really easy, and the main objective is to show me all. Teach him how to do the darn dance! Since everyone already knows what Alex is, I should be rather impressive to the officials that will be judging us. Amicus is confident that we will win that portion of the contest easily. No, I don't. I think something's going to happen. It's not going to go as he wants it to. Because as we keep seeing that Amicus does not think things through. Again, his heart is in the right place, but my guy, you need to show us what to do. Still, he promises me at least a few sessions of practice before the actual date of the competition. A few? That's not going to work. That's like cramming for the finals, which is something I am guilty of doing. But hey, I still pass with a B-. I realize now that it's only 3 days away. Oh my god, Majora's Mask reference. And despite Amicus' constant reassurance, I can feel the stress building. I can only trust I can only trust him that the dance is actually easy and simply an opportunity to show off. Meanwhile, half of my day tend to be empty of things to do. I'm left on my own to either hang around in Amicus' room, have conversations with Kham about Adastra and its culture, or just try and busy myself with mental work. Sometimes I hang out with Alex, which I enjoy, but lately I wonder if the idea that we're technically going to be competing against each other is causing a bit of a rift between us. Still, I get a lot of time with him since Cassius is out just as much as Amicus, if not more. I still don't trust this cat. We go out into the gardens a few times, and other times we watch Adastrian TV together, sometimes even catching Amicus or Cassius giving speeches to the seemingly endless crowds of wolves. The broadcaster seems to like tallying up numbers, and it's clear that Cassius always has an edge. Still, from what I've gathered, Amicus has had a bit of a surge and manages to at least do better than half of Cassius' numbers. It's still a little worrying though, but from what I can tell, popularity doesn't factor into the trials. When I'm not with Alex, I try to avoid running to any of the others, which is actually pretty easy. Kato is almost always absent from the palace due to his own official business as acting emperor. Virginia hasn't bothered to talk to me after our first interaction, probably deeming me incapable of any sort of conversation. Neferu, on the other hand, is the one person I have difficulty avoiding. Unlike the others, he greets me when he sees me, and occasionally sticks out his paw so that I have to kiss it. The only difference now is that after I do it, he does the same to me. I think I gave him the false impression that it's some sort of normal greeting for my people. He seems to enjoy it quite a bit, but only tries it when Amicus isn't around. As for Cassius, I don't see him for the entire week. Until today. I'm in a dining room with the screens, or watching the screens and zoning out. The wolves are pretty talented and making busy all... Oh my god. I read too fast. The wolves are pretty talented at making basically all of their films incredibly boring. It's probably something to do with the long-winded monologues and theatrical acting. Alex is gone today, doing some type of ambassador work in the city while Amicus is out with Kato, training, though he's supposed to be back in the next hour to give me that dance practice he promised. I'm nodding off and thinking about heading back to Amicus' room to take a quick nap when Cassius suddenly comes in. Oh, here we go. He stalks in with that particular stiff gait that he has, along with his usual sour expression. Even though it's been a while since I've seen him, I haven't forgotten that look of his. I jump and quickly sit straight up, looking at the ground. There's only a moment of silence before his reedy voice breaks it. "Pets, come with me!" And with that, he turns and stalks right back out of the room. I sit there, stunned for a moment. First of all, Amicus told Cassius never to give me commands. Does that mean that I shouldn't listen to him? I know immediately that it wouldn't be a very good idea, and I jump off my bed and hurry out into the hall. The important thing is that Amicus isn't here right now, and I know that Cassius is not someone I want to piss off. I still remember how quickly he suggested he hit me as punishment. Okay, that was just random. Just one frame of him there, and then he's gone. I'm just in time to see his white tail disappear around a corner as I jog after him, knowing just how confident he is that I'll follow him without question. I don't think he's even looked back once. I realize that we're heading out into the gardens, toward the same tables and benches that Alex and I have eaten our lunches at a few times. Ah! That's when I see Virginia and Neferu sitting down already, cups and plates already on the table. I realize then what it is Cassius summoned me for, and I relax a bit. After serving breakfast so many times, I know exactly what's expected of me. When Virginia spots us, she waves at Cassius, but he only grumbles under his breath. Ugh! Why is he here? I see the wolf's tail lash around in irritation before it settles as we get closer to the pair. Good morning, Virginia. And Neferu. Cassius' voice takes on a dismissive tone as he says the jackal's name, barely even nodding his head at him. What? I guess I'll be with you, Cassius. How are you this day? I still don't know how he would sound. I'm just making it up as I go. Cassius' tail lashes again, but only once. Wonderful. Virginia, you didn't tell me we'd be having a guest. Virginia raises a brow. I'm sorry. Did you need a warning of some kind, Cassius? Cassius sits, leaning back in the chair as he keeps his gaze on Virginia. I simply like to be prepared. There's a moment of silence and Neferu, still smiling, looks back and forth between the brother and sister. I'm sorry. Am I causing an inconvenience? No, Neferu. Cassius is simply being his usual gloomy self. Cassius's paws, which are clasped on the table, tighten their grip on each other. Virginia doesn't seem to notice, though, and instead looks up at me.
And you brought Marco?
Cassius doesn't even look at me.
I'm borrowing him. My pet is doing diplomatic work in the city.
Virginia rolls her eyes.
Really, Cassius, you can't manage to serve yourself even once. If I am to be emperor, I need to act like one. And please leave questioning me for another time. I don't want to be rude to our guest.
Cassius smiles at Neferu, though it looks forced. Another moment of tense silence. I take it as an opportunity to do my work. Me serve now? I almost snicker at my own caveman speech. The cavemen from Geico would be so proud of you.
Yes, pet.
I go about serving him, picking up slices of baked and seasoned bread off the platter before setting them on a smaller plate. I set this in front of Cassius. Then I pour some tea out of the heated pot into Cassius's cup before finally stepping back, hands clasped together. Luckily, Cassius and Virginia act like I'm not there, carrying on their conversation. Only Neferu seems to be constantly aware of my presence, occasionally glancing at me.
Are you enjoying your stay here, Neferu?
Neferu snaps his gaze from me to Cassius.
Oh yes, very much so. You've all been so hospitable to me. I thank you.
Cassius waves his paw.
It's the woven way, Neferu. No thanks are needed.
Another moment of silence stretches up before Virginia reaches for a plate.
Can I get you some Panama, Neferu?
But Neferu suddenly stands up.
Actually, I should be on my way. I could tell that you intended to speak with your sister alone, Cassius. Good day, and good day to you, Marco.
I jump, but quickly duck my head in response. Neferu then wanders off into the gardens, paws behind his back as he disappears behind the bushes and flowers. Cassius looks after him, his ears lowered, the inside slightly red.
He's rather blunt, isn't he?
Virginia doesn't respond, and Cassius looks over to see that she's glaring at him.
What? He's our guest, Cassius. Start treating him like one.
Well, Cassius sighs and looks away, pouting. Virginia takes a sip of her tea before leaning back in her chair, letting the silence drag on a bit before finally speaking.
What is it, Cassius?
What is what?
Why are you sulking more than usual?
Cassius sighs.
I am very busy, Virginia, and I'm freed of this portion of my day to have good conversation. I've barely spoken to you since you returned, and I wanted to ask you about your trip.
Cassius takes a brisk sip of his tea.
It's difficult to speak intimately when others are around, especially those of a different species. Cassius, if you wanted to speak alone, you only had to ask. I was simply worried that Neferu is growing bored of this palace, so I invited him along.
Virginia grins.
And you don't have to play emperor around me. I'm your sister. Lean back and relax a bit.
Cassius sighs again, but doesn't lean back. I must play the role I intend to fit, even when the situation does not call for it.
You think father was always like that? I don't know. He did not speak to me much. Well, he wasn't. You can relax some on me, Cassius.
Cassius sighs and eats one of the crackers, leaning back into his chair very slightly.
So, how was Lux? Oh, you know, riots and crime and complaints about a lack of funding. Well, there is a lack of funding. There is a lack of funds, certainly, but not from us. You know the officials are corrupt and take most of it. That isn't the people's fault. No, but they should choose the politicians more carefully. They're electing officials based on how outrageous they could be. How are the results in the sound government? The people are frustrated and the sentiment is spreading throughout the empire. I've been telling you this for years. Certainly, we all know this. The question is how to fix it. By getting rid of the what? Oh God! By getting rid of the triumvirates that people elect. If we rule directly, the people will become as sound as the palace we govern from. And you expect to do that easily? I expect it to be very, very difficult, and it's something I tend to do very, very carefully. The people need direction, and electing chaotic triumvirates is their cry for help.
Virginia doesn't say anything, instead taking a very dainty sip of her tea from her cup. Cassius clears his throat and sits up straight again.
Anyway, why did you decide to bring this Khemian back with you? You never explained it clearly in your letters. But I did. His accommodation and Lux were rather poorly. Bringing him here and acquainting him with the imperial family seemed like the natural decision to me. You know he's the pharaoh's second son. Yes, but why is he in Lux and why didn't I know about it?
Virginia shrugs.
You can't expect to know about every diplomatic visit that there is. Anyway, he was touring his siblings and was in Lux when the depletion happened. My question is, why wouldn't the pharaoh send a ship immediately to retrieve his own son? Alex makes sense, being your typical diplomat, but the son of a pharaoh? He chose to stay.
He snorts.
And why would he do that?
Virginia stares at Cassius for a moment, a frown on her face.
Cassius, you know the reason as well as I do. Despite the absolute chaotic, bankrupt, parentless mess our empire is in, the Khemians are willing to ally with us. He's trying to help establish that. They're taking advantage of us when we're at our weakest, Virginia. You know how I feel about this, and I have no plans for an alliance. I'm planning for all scenarios, Cassius. As of now, you aren't guaranteed the emperorship.
Cassius doesn't say anything, staring at his empty plate. Slowly, I walk up to the table and refill the plate. Neither of the wolves look at me.
We should be grateful the Khemians even want to speak to us. None of the other siblings wants to be associated with a race that seems to have been abandoned. We don't know that yet. Well, they aren't speaking to us, are they? If they left us starbound, if this is permanent, we may never be able to travel beyond the star system again.
That catches my attention. Didn't Amicus tell me that when he becomes emperor, he'll be able to take me back? They're acting like they won't have the stretch drive forever. Cassius laughs.
Once we have a new emperor, they would give us guidance again. They stopped immediately after father's death. What other explanation could there be? It didn't after grandfather's death.
Cassius waves his paw in the air.
Because father was in line for the throne without any challenge. The emperorship was not meant to be in limbo like this.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. The emperorship has not been in limbo like this in living memory. They are simply waiting for the emperor to have firm leadership again before re-establishing contact.
Cassius snatches a cracker off the plate I just refilled.
It has happened before, even if that were before Drusus. But even if we're not able to, I have no doubt that I can still lead this empire prosperity. And how will we do that without the stretch? We're not able to communicate with our children anymore. If the Khemians learn the stretch, then so can we. As for our children, abandon them. They've only been a burden anyway.
Oh. Jerk? Cassius glances at me and I quickly look down at the ground. Virginia sighs loudly.
Sometimes the things you say frighten me, Cassius. Well, you know it'd be less so if you were on my side, Virginia. I'm on no one's side, Cassius. It's my duty to serve the Emperor, no matter who that might be. You're on Amicus' side. It's clear as Vita. Preference does not matter in the end. I don't like Cato, yet I serve him.
Cassius' ears flatten and he looks around.
Lower your voice when you say such things, Virginia. And are you saying you dislike me like you do Cato? Well, of course not. But like I said, your ideas are extreme. Radical ideas are needed for times like this. It's how I've gotten so far with the people. Well, just remember that you and Amicus are both my brothers, and I love you equally. Just be civil when the decision is made.
Cassius! Uh-oh. We all jump as Amicus' voice seems to rattle the ivy on the pillars. Cassius settles back in his seat, rolling his eyes.
What, Amicus?
What the hell are you doing with my pet? Com says you have him!
He wanted to serve me. How could I deny him?
Do not lie to me, Cassius. I told you never to talk to him.
Are you going to yell at me or tell me where you are so I can send him back?
Where are you? I'm going to come out there. Cassius does look a little worried then. You're going to get punched.
Come? Where's Amicus?
The main hall, Cassius. I'm coming out!
Pet, go back inside and do not tell him where we are.
Cassius shoos me away while Virginia just chuckles behind a paw. He's going to get punched. I make my way back inside, though Amicus meets me right there at the entrance. He glares. What the hell does he think he's doing? What did he make you do? Amicus sets a paw on my shoulder, looking me over. Not much. I just served him while he talked to Virginia.
Unbelievable.
Amicus makes us to walk out into the gardens. Where are you going? Going to give Cassius a piece of my mind. I specifically told him to... I set a hand on his arm, stopping him. Hey, it's fine. Is it? Because last I remember, he threatened to hit you. He didn't touch me at all. He ignored me the whole time. Amicus looks out into the garden, still clearly wanting to go out there.
Listen, I just want to get this dance practice done. I've been worried about it all week. Amicus pauses, then sighs, turning back to walk into the palace. Fine, but when I let Cassius get away with things like this, he tends to push it even further the next time. We walk in silence for a bit, our footsteps echoing like they always do in the marble halls. Are you alright? I'm fine. Why? Well, you seem a little grumpy? It was just a long day in the city. Unlike Cassius, speeches don't come naturally to me, something I just need to get used to. I walk alongside the wolf, feeling his furry arm brush up against mine. So, when do I get to go into the city? The wolf tilts his muzzle down at me in surprise. Oh, you want to go? Well, yeah. Didn't you say I could? It's getting kind of boring here. Well, I'd say once the first trial is done, you'll be introduced to go public by then. You'll be introduced to the public by then, so everyone will know who you are when we go. Can I plan on that then? Of course. I'm just surprised that you want to see the city so badly. Well, looking at it from the balcony all the time has me curious. Well, visually it's not all that impressive. There are cities out there with larger structures and attractions. Adastra is mostly a city for imperial officers and their families. Still, we could find some entertainment, I'm sure. As long as it isn't like the films I see on your TV. Well, it would be live entertainment, but it would be somewhat similar. Actually, if you don't like that, then you may not like the dance I'm about to show you. I realized then that we're walking in a new direction in the palace, down a hall that I haven't been through since Alex gave me the palace tour. Where are we going? The throne room. Should be empty right now. It's where we'll be performing. I feel myself getting a little nervous as we approach a large set of double doors. Amicus presses his paw to the black panel and they slide open. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. Oh wow. But for some reason, why does this throne room remind me of the throne room from the Owl House? It's a little bit of some similarities, minus the giant heart that's on above the throne room. But the aesthetics and architecture-wise, it gives me that vibe from Owl House. This is how you can tell I haven't watched the Owl House in a while. Bellis, I think his name was the dude who was trying to take over the demon realm. Man, the Owl House was such a good show. I don't like how they did season 3. That was just bold. And then almost the same thing happened to Amphibia. Why are the good shows just getting canceled? But anyway, inside I'm greeted by the largest room in the palace that I've ever seen. I look up at the glistening walls, craning my neck to see the ceiling arch dozens of meters above us. Afternoon light filters through the windows, lighting up the place in a warm orange glow. Wow. You like it? Yeah. I look at the throne, framed by pillars and crystals that appear to be levitating. The crystals look similar to other structures in the palace that are used mainly for a light source. It's just that these ones are a lot bigger. Amicus walks into the center of the room, our footsteps sounding much more cavernous. Oh my god. Cavernous here. We actually don't use it very often. It's more for tradition. So you won't sit on the throne all day yelling at people? Sadly, no. I can only remember a handful of times that Father sat in it. I look around a bit, spinning in a slow circle. When I see Amicus again, he's quiet. His arms are folded as he stares at the throne. The look on his face tells me he's deep in thought. So did you want to show me the dance? Oh, right. He walks toward me until he's standing just a few feet away. He sighs, then frowns, his ears down. What? I wait, but he doesn't say anything. What? I say a little more loudly, feeling nervous. Well, seriously, you're stressing me out. Alright, listen. The role you'll be playing might be a little bit strange to you. Role? What do you mean by that? Amicus takes a deep breath, as if only now realizing what our practice session is going to involve. The dance we'll be doing is tilted mirror, and will involve things that you might find objectionable. Objectionable? Alright, let me try to explain this correctly. Basically, we'll be playing the roles of Dersius and Mira, an emperor and his lover. Wait, so this is like a play or a musical? I'm playing a character? Well, of course, it's a dance. Well, I guess, but you never told me that I'd also be acting. Isn't acting part of dancing? What's the point of dancing if you're not telling a story?
I cover my face with my hands, rubbing it in frustration. Listen, quit saying things to me like I should know, like I should just know it. We're from different worlds. Of course things aren't the same on Earth. Yes, you're right. I'm sorry. You're so much like a wolf that I forget. It's fine, but what is it that I find objectionable? I remember his description of the dance included the word lover. Oh wait, what sort of things I'm going to have to do with you? The look on Amicus' face worries me. I feel myself getting angry, realizing now why Amicus had put this off for so long. I glare at him. Nothing too explicit, but there's caressing and a kiss at the end. I beg your pardon? Oh my god. I let my head drop, closing my eyes. I'm sorry, I don't make up the dances or the rules. It's simply tradition. I let the silence drag out, letting Amicus squirm. But weirdly enough, I'm not as angry as I thought I'd be. Knowing Amicus for the 2 weeks I've been here. Wait, it's been 2 weeks? I thought it was only a week. Okay. I guess I kinda expect it from him. Still, he's been nothing but respectful to me over the past few weeks, and if it means I can go home. Is that it? You caress me a little and kiss me at the end? For the most part, yes. And you're playing the role of a female, so you must dress a certain way. Hey, no. That's where I draw the line. Hell no, I am not dressing up as a girl. You are not putting a dress on me, sir. No. Are you kidding me? I feel my face flush red. Something that Amicus has told me is kind of unnerving to see for someone covered in fur. Why do I have to do it then? Go get a female dancer or something. A professional would do this way better than me. That's not the point of the trial. Me teaching you is part of it, and it's simply the role of the pet to do so. You should have told me this last week, Amicus. Amicus doesn't seem to have an answer for that, besides a mumbled sorry. We stand there in awkward silence for a bit, or a little while longer before Amicus squares his shoulders. Listen, I will not force you to do anything you don't want to. That I promise. But doing this dance convincingly is needed for us to win. Who's even judging us? Cato and the Triumvirates from the 5 other major cities. Triumvirates? Triumvirates? How would you pronounce that? Groups of 3 that govern the cities. So why do you even have to know music or dance to become an emperor anyway? Well, the more well-rounded the wolf, the better he is for emperorship. An emperor that can fight just as well as he can dance shows good character. Alright, fine. Just show me the dance. Amicus lets out one of those relieved sighs that he seems to have reserved just for me. Thank you. Again, I'm sorry. I was just so busy with official business and everything else. I didn't know how to approach you about this. Well, next time, just tell me. I'm honestly more annoyed that you waited so long. Isn't the trial in a few days? 3 days. Great. Well, it's just a simple dance. You're able to learn it in a few hours. Then we can practice tomorrow, too. Alright. I look around. So do we have music or something? No. We don't need music, do we? I mean, I guess not. On Earth, we usually dance to music without having to tell a story. Oh, really? So you just dance for no reason? Kinda. We just usually dance to have fun. So why do you need music? I think. It's such a basic thing, but I never had to explain it to anyone before, so I find myself trying to figure out the right way to go about it. Well, we need a beat or rhythm to dance to. I mean, not always, but usually we move to an even paced beat. Amicus absorbs that for a second, then chuckles. What? It's such a primate thing to do, to bang sticks and rocks together. You love your rhythms. It's just so, interesting. Your inner Frieza is showing, Amicus. I frown, immediately picking up on the condescension. You mean primitive? No, just different. At least he's trying, I guess. Anyway, we're going to have an orator narrate the story for us. It's a combination of speaking and singing. I'll do that for now, though. Well, not the singing. I'll just speak. I stand there waiting, and Amicus coughs awkwardly. Anyway, Amicus reaches out a paw, and I take it after a short pause. Slowly, he draws me closer to him, to the point that I can smell the lavender and floral mouthwash on his breath. I'm not trying to smell all that. I mean, it's good that your mouth is not hot, but still. I'm going to lead you through the movements first while narrating, and then we'll start from the beginning again, alright? I nod in agreement, and with that, Amicus starts to narrate the story. 10,000 years ago, our empire was small, shriveled, and parentless. We abandoned them and were left to drift through the galaxy alone. Amicus turns me away from him to face the throne, his paw on my shoulder. Then Drusius, our dear emperor, came along and made a proposition. He steps forward lightly, on his toes, gesturing broadly with his paw. Let us reconnect with our parent, and through them, the rest of the universe. But it was not so easy. The siblings, long tired of woven hubris, were reluctant to know them again. I stand there awkwardly, watching Amicus move around me in a sort of interpretive dance, mostly involving prancing and big gestures with his paws. That was until he met Mira, a Hindo sibling. Amicus turns to me, then, stretching out a paw again, this time flat, like he's telling me to stop. Alright, so reach out the same way and press your paw to mine. I do as he asks, watch as his massive paw almost seems to envelop mine. He slowly pushes my hand upward, drawing me even closer as he does. And before they could help it, they'd fallen in love. The story goes on for a while. Amicus teaches me the steps and hand movements as he does. The process is slow and tedious, but Amicus is patient with me and tells me that it's not the choreography that's necessarily important, but rather the feeling and passion that we put into the movements. The story describes Mira and Drusus' relationship, evolving from one of official diplomatic business to true love.
Aww.
But it doesn't last long because Mira becomes sick from an unspecified illness and is about to die. The parents offer Drusius two options: save Mira or save his empire, and promise his people prosperity for the next 10,000 years. Drusius wants to choose Mira, even if it means damning his empire for millennia. At this point in the story, Amicus draws me close to his chest, my back pressed to his front as he holds me close, his face rumbling in his chest. Then the story takes a sudden turn. Mira denies Drusius his own decision, instead taking her own life so that his empire might survive. Here, I'm supposed to put the back of my hand to my head, like I'm old-timely woman in a corset passing out. Amicus carefully lowers me to the ground, laying me flat on my back. And so it was that another sibling saved our empire. Drusius was forced into his one remaining choice, which was no longer a choice. Amicus slowly stands, raising his paw to the sky, pointing. To the stars, he said. We are now Adastra. Roll credits. Amicus holds a pose for a moment, then looks down at me. Is that it? Yes. I sit up and Amicus reaches down to help me to my feet. Wasn't so bad, was it? Well, no, not really. As long as it doesn't matter if I do all the steps right. No, you just need to have a general idea of it. Remember, it's the feeling you need to get right, the tragedy of it all. So is that story true? Seems like a weird choice to give someone, and you really made a stupid decision. He basically killed Mira. Amicus shrugs. It's mostly just a dramatic story, but Drusius was a real person. So was Mira. She did take her own life, but we don't really know why, or the extent of the relationship. So what about the kiss? You said the dance would involve that? I thought we should leave that for the actual performance. I assume you don't want me kissing you over and over? Yeah, that's probably for the best. Alright, let's do a few more times to get you into the feel of it before we focus on the acting portion tomorrow. Oh boy. For the next few hours, we go through the steps over and over. I mean, I kind of feel what they're coming from. I don't want to do kissing all over me like that, even do practice. By the end, we're both kind of sweating, being so close to each other while Vita shines in on us. Alright, why don't we take a break? Sure. Would you like to go to the communal bath? Where everyone takes a bath together? For the first time, I can really smell the must coming off of Amicus. It's not bad, but dude. But mixed with the lavender smell, it's a little bit strange. Dude. Well, more to have a hot soak to ease the tension in the muscles. Don't worry, you can keep your underwear on if you prefer. Oh, okay. Dude. Great. Amicus leads the way out of the throne room and back into the marble halls. The cooler air hits my sweaty skin. I realize that I probably don't smell so great either. The perfume the wolves use isn't all that strong. I adjust my robe, not liking the way the fabric sticks to my skin. Actually, all this dancing has me wishing I had jeans back. The dance positions had me feeling like it was hitching up and exposing my underwear. Can I wear pants when we do the dance? Pants? Why? I don't know. I guess it's just easier to move around in them. Well, you'll be wearing a Hindo costume, which are also rather billowy. Sorry. billowy. Why do you wear pants anyway? And no one else does. Ha, well, they've been coming into fashion over the last few years. I thought wearing a pair would endear the people to me. You want them to think you're hip? Well, I wanted to believe that I'm forward-thinking. Everyone else in the palace has this aura of traditionalism, which is not something I'm aiming for. Amicus adjusts his pants near the crotch. Really? I've grown to prefer them over the robe, but in situations that involves a lot of sweating, it can grow a bit uncomfortable than the leather. Amicus stops by a door that I've never noticed before, much smaller than the entrance to the throne room. He presses his paw to another black panel, the door sliding open. Huh. Doesn't look that bad. Looks like this is like a very giant sauna room. I've never been to a sauna before. My friend said he has, and he enjoyed it. I'm immediately hit by a wall of human warmth, steam wafting out through the open door. I follow the wolf inside, my skin immediately growing sticky and hot, making me wish that it was a swimming pool instead of what I assume is a giant hot tub. The wolf starts to strip up his clothing. And we're back to being naked again. Yay for blurring. Oh, God. I've been needing this all day. Also, excuse my nudity, but the water isn't kind of clothing. Otherwise, I keep the underwear on. I shrug. It's not like I haven't seen it before. Right. The wolf lays his clothing down on one of the benches, his nude, sweaty form obscured slightly by the steam. He stretches, arching his back, his thick body thinning out a bit as he does. His junk also sticks out quite a bit, even though I might have seen it before. The shameless display is a bit much, and I have to look away while I slowly stripped off my own robe. You're joining me, yes? Yeah. Good. I think you really enjoy this. It's very hot, but you'll get used to it. Amicus walks up to the edge of the pool. There are two methods, either getting in slowly or all at once. Your general entrance to pools. Insert common water sound effect here. And with that, the wolf jumps into the pool, practically cannonballing into the center and setting up a huge wave that washes over the sides. The water that creeps up onto my feet is hot enough to make me flinch. Amicus comes back up, his fur plastered to his face as he gasps and lets out a strained yell that makes it sound like he's in pain. Ah! Ow! 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 Are you alright? I walk up to the edge, feeling the hot water under my feet. Fine, just getting used to it. And now I am. Amicus grins up at me. I stand there in my underwear, frowning down at the water. Come in, it feels good. That did look like it felt good. Quit being such a flower and get in. It's only the first few seconds that are quite painful. Flower, the main insult used by wolves when attacking someone's masculinity. Well, I guess you really do have a low pain tolerance, so I start to dip a toe in. Hey! Amicus glares up at me, then grins. I know that I look all well by now. Oh god, he's gonna pull me in. Hey, don't! The wolf glides up to the edge of the pool with only half of his muzzle sticking up from the water, like an ominous furry shark fin. I start to move back, and that's when Amicus suddenly rises out of the water, stepping onto an underwater bench along with the edge of the pool that I hadn't seen. He wraps his arms around me, his hot fur plastered body squeezing up against me for a moment, then squeezing even harder as he physically lifts me off the ground and falls back into the pool. Yep, we get dragged into the pool. Lion King moment. I only have a moment to try to fight the wolf off, uselessly pushing against his ball before I'm plunged into the steaming hot water. Oh god. For a moment, I wonder if I'm going to boil alive, but as soon as Amicus lets me go and my hand breaks through the surface, I can already feel the sting wearing off and a pleasant warmth. I cough a few times, making a face at the salty tasting water, spitting it out. Oh, you are an ass! See? Not so bad if you do it all at once. I spit out more water. Bad taste? Don't worry, it's just the minerals in the water. I shove a wave of water to Amicus' face, sending it right into his open mouth. Yes, we fight back. He coughs and spits, choking on the water I just forcibly slammed down his throat. Ugh, you ass! Takes one to know one. The wolf paws the water out of his eyes, looking ready to try and splash me as well. He sees me also at the ready though, hands up to my chest and ready to send another wave into his face. Well, that's enough rough housing, I guess. Stuff like this is best left for the lake. Hey, you started it. Amicus ignores me, instead moving to sit on the underwater bench. I do the same, sitting a foot away from the wolf. enveloping my face in the steams that rises from the water. Doesn't this feel good? Now that I'm actually paying attention to the sensation of the water, I have to agree. The heat seems to seep through my skin and into the muscle, sending a pleasant shiver up my spine even though I'm completely warm. Yeah, I need to do this more often. All this official business nonsense is starting to weigh on my mental capabilities. Is it really nonsense? For the most part, it really is. So much useless etiquette and protocol. Sometimes I completely understand what it is Cassius dislikes about the current way of things. What way of things? Oh, just the way politics work. Never showing what we're actually thinking, using coded language. It slows things down, but I know that there's a reason for it. Keeps things simple and peaceful. Mostly. And Cassius would do away with that? He would do away with many things, current political protocol being one of them. It's one of the main reasons he's so popular. Well, you seem to kind of agree with it, getting things done without all the official business nonsense in the way that could be a good thing. Amicus sinks low into the water until it's up to his neck. Remember the story I just told you about Drusius and Mira? Yeah? Well, whether that story is true or not, he was the one that started the way we do things to this day. Before him, well, we had a string of populist emperors, and the results were not great with what I've read. Honestly, I completely understand what it is that makes Cassius appealing to the people, and it's something that I sometimes want to do myself. The only thing holding me back is history. Time and time again, whether a leader like Cassius has come around, it's only results in a weak, isolated empire. Well, from what little I've heard, isn't that how it is now? Well, yes, but it's because we've never fully transitioned into an outward-looking and outreaching empire. Drusius started it, but it's taken us 10,000 years to get here. It was much worse back then, that's what Cassius wants to go back to. I intend to take some of the final steps so that we may join the other siblings on the journey to parenthood. Oh, so that's the goal for everyone? To become a parent? Yes, and to continue the spread of our culture beyond the galaxy. So what makes you a parent? When we could travel to the other galaxies in a particular manner. Oh, so why not just use the stretch drive for that? It is not possible to harness enough power to use the stretch drive for such distances. The parents have a different method, but they haven't told us how, obviously. So are you close to doing it? To intergalactic travel? No. Is anyone? Well, there are rumors that the Khemians are on the verge of it. It wouldn't surprise me. It's assumed that they already know how to use their own stretch drive. This talk about the stretch drive reminds me of something. So, when I was out serving Cassius, Amicus growls softly and with his throat as I remind him. Well, they were talking about stuff about the stretch drive depletion or whatever. Oh? Yeah, so apparently no one knows why your parents stopped talking to you guys, and Virginia was saying that you might not ever leave the star system again? Oh. I frowned at him. Well, that was rather presumptuous of her. Is it true? Well, no. I mean, sure, it doesn't happen often, but they stopped immediately after father's death. There's no other explanation that our parent knew that there would be issues with the emperorship. The stress drive and contact with our parent. That's still Amicus. Excuse me. The stress and contact with our parent will be reestablished once I become emperor. I promise you that, Marco. Amicus says it with his usual confidence, but that doesn't settle the anxiety in my stomach. I sigh in frustration, closing my eyes. Why is everything so complicated with you? What do you mean? If you just tell me the actual truth about everything that's going on, I wouldn't feel like I'm being hit over the head with something new every other day. Marco, stop worrying. I know things seem unsure, but it's only because of the precarious position our empire is in right now. Once I become emperor, things will settle, and we will figure out how to get you home. Amicus has a paw on my shoulder, and I turn to look at him, my expression probably still gloomy. I will get you home, Marco. That I promise. And even if the stretch isn't immediately restored, I will find a way. Even if it means making some sort of deal with another sibling, like the Khemians. What kind of deal? You're not going to be smuggling things, are you? Because, bro, that could hurt your chances of becoming emperor. If you're doing anything, like, illegal, because I've seen stuff like this happen before in, like, all these sort of fiction, even non-fiction stories. Your heart would be in the right place, but yet you resort to this sort of thing to try to increase your chances of fulfilling your promise to someone. But
that can also come back and bite you in the ass later. So I don't feel comfortable with that.
Amicus frowns at his last statement. Still, that does set me at ease, and I place a hand on his paw. Thanks, Amicus. Amicus' very serious mood dissipates and his ears come up as he smiles. So you're feeling relaxed again? That's why we're here, you know. I smile. Yeah, I guess so. Good. We fall into a bit of silence then, as I lean my head back. Oh, this sound effect, I'm sorry. It sounded like someone's peeing. Are y'all peeing in the pool? Remember we used to do that peeing in the pool when they were kids? Well, people probably still pee in community pools, but anyway. We fall into a bit of a silence then as I lean my head back against the ledge of the pool, let the warmth take over my body. It makes me feel heavy and tired, but good. My head slips off the edge a few times as I doze off a bit, each time waking up before my head can go into the water. Amicus noticed the third time this happens. Sleepy? A little. Lean against me so that you don't have to... Oh my god. Lean against me so that you don't make the bottom of the pool your new bed. I hesitate. Don't worry. Don't worry. We already share the same bed. Amicus stretches an arm over to the edge behind my head, not even looking at me as he does. I get the weird feeling that I'm in a movie theater and my date just tried to casually rest his arm against the back of my chair, on the back of my chair. But my head feels even heavier than the rest of my body, so I give in, letting it rest against Amicus' massive bicep and shoulder. I close my eyes, but then crack them open a bit to look at Amicus. He seems to be trying to stipple a smile. We've had a few moments like these. At this point, I'm not sure if it's because he likes me or because he sees me as some sort of actual pet, like a cat curling up on your lap. I don't have much time to give it much thought though, because I start to fall asleep again. I'm not sure how long I'm asleep, seconds or minutes, but that's when I hear the door open. It's not a loud sound, but Amicus jumps, which makes me jump. Uh-oh. We both look toward the door. Uh-oh. Neferu stands there, his eyes on us, the same smile on his face.
Whoa, imagine running into you again today.
Again, Neferu talks directly to me. Without waiting for an answer, he strides in, paws busily tugging at his loincloth.
I'm sorry, I've come into the baths every day for the past week, but I've never encountered anyone.
He strips off his loincloth, now only in his undergarments.
I was beginning to think it was never put to use.
He starts to unwrap said undergarments.
I find that strange, considering how incredibly relaxing the water is. It's such a great way to clear the mind and meditate.
He unwraps his underwear, the cloth tied in a way that looked much more complicated than my own. What's happening here? And he's naked too. Great! Oh, God.
Not that I mind. I always enjoy good company and conversation.
I just had enough time to notice the anatomical differences between Amicus and Neferu before I look away, feeling awkward staring at someone I barely know in the nude. I'm not sure who he's talking to either, whether he's moved on from me to Amicus or if he's still exclusively zeroed in on me. Either way, Amicus answers while I stare at the steaming water.
I see. I also enjoy the baths. It's just that we tend to be so busy these days.
Oh, I imagine. Neferu's voice gets closer behind me as he speaks, his soft footsteps barely audible.
Being adrift without an emperor can really hamper an empire.
At this point, it sounds like Neferu is standing just over me, and I can only imagine what else is just over me. Oh, goodness. Don't think about it. Just don't. Amicus is craning his neck, looking up at the jackal.
Well, we do have an emperor, just not an official one. Yet.
Indeed. I hear a soft splash next to me, and out of the corner of my eye, I can see one of the jackal's legs dip into the water to stand on the bench, followed by another.
Ah, that's nice. I took a rather long walk in the gardens today. It left my paws rather sore. This is a welcome reprieve.
Amicus grunts next to me, then actually pulls me in a bit with his arm. Neferu then gently hops off the bench to submerge himself up to his neck. He lets out a soft, drawn-out sigh, his eyes closed before he pulls himself up onto the bench. Right next to me. Amicus looks like a sigh of his own, though this one is much more shorter and very annoyed sounding.
We don't have baths like this on our palace. I might request one, though, once I return home.
Again, Amicus barely responds, letting out a half-hearted grunt. At this point, the wolf has his arm completely around me, particularly pulling me to his chest. It's awkward, and we sit like this for a while, maybe about 5 minutes before Neferu finally speaks again.
So, how long have you been here, Marco?
I gave a start, then look up at Amicus. One of his eyes switched, but he gives me a rather short nod. too weak. Again, I have to hold my breath to stop myself from laughing at my caveman speech. For some reason, it's incredibly hilarious even when the situation is totally serious.
So you need permission to speak to me? I did not know that you were so strict with your slaves, Amicus.
What did he say?
Hey, yo! Whoa! He said it, not me. Amicus coughs in surprise. He's my pet, not a slave.
Oh, maybe it's a lingual issue, but from what I've seen, there's very little difference. You do enslave your children, after all, no?
Oh, he knows. Amicus is quiet for a moment, and I look back up at him to see him staring at the jackal, his mouth open.
Are you alright?
Excuse me, but I'm finding your question a bit pointed.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've been told our way of speaking can be a bit blunt by your standards, but considering that the topic of slavery is simply always pointed.
Well, why don't we move to a less pointed topic then?
Of course. So, Marco, what is your species? I must say that I've never seen your kind before.
Amicus' arms tighten around my shoulder again, but he doesn't say anything, staring straight ahead at the other side of the pool. Khemian. Neferu chuckles next to me.
You know you don't have to speak in such a simple way to me. I already know that you can converse well enough.
Uh-oh. I stiffen up, but Amicus jumps in front of me. What are you talking about, Jackal?
Oh, are we already jumping into formal language? Well, I'm simply referring to his intelligence, Wolf. I'm confused as to why he's downplaying it for me.
I don't know how you know anything about him. Come, Marco. Let's head back to my room. Amicus stands up and pulls me up, but Neferu stands with us, reaching out for one of the white towels.
That is why I'm trying to make conversation with him. But if he needs your permission to do anything, including speak, then maybe I should just leave your slave alone.
Amicus turns on Khemian, not bothering to hide his anger anymore. He is not a slave. Please refrain from calling him as such.
If he isn't, then he should be able to speak freely.
He is able to speak freely, Jackal.
Then I have to wonder why he asks for your permission and stupefies his speech. It's all a bit odd, isn't it?
Again, I don't know how you know anything about him.
Alex told me.
Oh, that snitch! See, this is why we don't trust Alex. This is why I don't trust him. This is why I wouldn't trust him. The jackal grins and I note that he's using Alex's shortened name. Amicus stares in surprise.
So don't worry, Marco. You can speak without worrying about what I might learn.
Neferu sets a paw on my shoulder, and Amicus hackles rise. Gently but firmly, he reaches out to move Neferu's paw off my shoulder. Please, do not touch my pet.
Oh, so he needs permission to be touched as well?
Wow, the intensity, the drama. Oh my god, the tension is so thick in the room. I'm not talking about the steam coming from the pool. It's so thick you can cut through it with a butter knife. Amicus steps sideways, particularly blocking me from the jackal's view. What is your concern with him, Neferu?
I'm simply interested in intelligent species that I've never seen before, and well...
Neferu reaches over Amicus' shoulder, touching my hair and rubbing it between two finger pads, similar to what Amicus sometimes does.
He is a fascinating looking...
Oh my. I start to move my head away, but before I know it, Amicus has Neferu shoved up against the wall, one paw of his chest glaring into his face. Oh, excuse me. I said not to touch him. His face is low, almost too quiet for me to hear. I want to jump in somehow, maybe push Amicus toward the door so we could both just leave and not cause an interstellar incident, but they're both so big and intimidating.
Alright, sorry. I keep forgetting that he's not a slave with the way you treat him, needing your permission for everything.
He doesn't. I step forward then. Well, you need my permission. The statement just sort of slips out of my mouth, my irritation with the jackal growing along with Amicus's. Neferu's eyes widen for just a moment before his smile returns.
Ah, so it is true. I knew I saw intelligence in those eyes.
Despite having a canine that's a good deal larger than him pinning him to the wall, Neferu seems quite calm. You know nothing of the way I treat him, and please do not call him a slave again. It's an affront to his actual status.
Again, my apologies.
He looks at me.
May I touch you in a friendly manner in the future? A paw on the shoulder, an embrace even. Khemians are always physically intimate. I stare at him. No. Amicus snorts with satisfaction, blowing back some fur on Neferu's face. No. Kindly leave my pet alone in the future. He's very busy. Again, this language implies that you own him. It's all too confusing to me. Amicus growls, but Neferu doesn't seem to notice the warning. I suppose it's only natural for a slave-driving race such as your own. You believe you own everything and everyone lower on the hierarchy. My God. Amicus' eyes widen, nostrils flaring. Oh, he is getting pissed. What? I'll have you know that they are servants, and I do plan to change. Never mind. It is not your place to criticize my empire. Neferu seems to take some interest in what Amicus just said, pausing only for a moment before speaking again. Your empire? Didn't you say someone else was acting as the emperor? The empire belongs to all wolves, but I have you know that I will become the emperor, Jackal, and keeping that in mind, you should learn to hold your tongue if you want to establish an alliance. But does the empire belong to the servants that mine your natural resources across the dozens of planets in our galaxy? What is your issue with me? Or are you this rude to everyone you meet? The Jackal is quiet and Amicus still just growls at him, waiting for an answer. That's when I realize that Neferu isn't looking at Amicus' face. He's looking at... And then I'm looking at it. I realize that it's looking a bit bigger than usual. Oh, God darn it! You know, I heard rumors that the Emperor's son was a tail raiser, but honestly I wasn't expecting you to use this moment as an opportunity. Did you simply want to get your paws on me? Oh God. Such a shift. What has heard? What's happening? What's going on? Hey, what the frick? No, I didn't agree to this. Oh, I did not mean to do that. I had to do the sound effect again. I accidentally skipped forward. In one smooth, fluid motion, Neferu spins into Amicus, thumping his back into the other canine's front, making the big wolf grunt and puff air into the top of Neferu's head with an oof sound. Neferu leans there against the wolf, holding onto his big paw while the other comes up to tease at Amicus' chin. Amicus looks surprised, but he doesn't do anything to push the Jackal away. Yo, my guy! Why? Meanwhile, the Jackal's rear firmly pushes up against Amicus' crotch. Amicus seems frozen, staring down at the Jackal. From what little I heard about Adastra slang on the TV, Neferu had just implied that Amicus is gay. If you were interested, you only had to ask. I know that woven ways of flirting are rather aggressive, and even though we Jackals do things differently, I could adjust. At that, Amicus glares and abruptly pushes Neferu away, sending the Jackal to stumble against the wall. He turns around swiftly, his grin still in place. Oh, did I get the wrong idea? I just assumed after you groped my chest and became excited. Neferu gestures down at Amicus' crotch, the wolf's erect genitals still waving around a little bit after the Jackal has spun away. Immediately, Amicus covers himself with both his paws, glaring. I did not! And you were the one who touched my pet without his permission. Amicus looks around for his underwear, snatching it up and beginning to tie it on. I quickly grab a towel and my rose, feeling completely confused as to what the hell just happened. Again, I thought he was your slave, but you're right. I should have asked for his permission. His fur was simply mesmerizing, so I forgot myself for a moment. Dude, please. Neferu turns to me and bows. Good day, Marco. I wish you luck in relieving your master's cardinal desires. Neferu gestures at the fumbling wolf as he tries to tie on his underwear correctly. And to you, Amicus. Again, if you're interested, you only need to let me know. Are you joking with me? Neferu is already striding off, grabbing his own underwear and loincloth as he does, not even finished tying on by the time he's walking out the door. We both stand there in silence for a bit, staring at the door slide shut. Then Amicus grabs up the rest of his clothes with a growl, turning to me. You alright? Yeah, of course. What? Come on. And then Amicus is walking off even faster than Neferu had. I quickly follow, not bothering to put on my robe since I'm still pretty wet. We walk down the hall, Amicus muttering under his breath the whole time. Unbelievable. Unbelievable! How would he have the nerve? Arrogant Khemian ass. As we make our way toward Amicus' room, I go over what happened in my head. It seems Neferu was making some kind of point about slavery, while at the same time taking that strange interest in me. On top of that, the obvious sexual tension between the two of them was really odd. Especially the way Amicus just stood there and let Neferu rub up against it while he was clearly hard. Is this how all these aliens hit on each other? With all that bizarre macho aggression? If it is, I don't like it, but that doesn't matter. I'm not here for that kind of stuff anyway. Well, at least we both can agree on something here. I just need to get home. Thank you. Remember that you need to get home, please. God. But at the same time, there's a little spark of jealousy in my Now you lost me. You had it going, and now you lost me. I feel a little spark of jealousy in my chest at the thought of Amicus being interested in Neferu. I don't know why, but the way he treated me at the pool almost seems like flirting itself. And then to immediately have eyes for Neferu? Now you lost me. Now you completely lost me. I wouldn't care. It would bother me that there's that randomness sexual tension and interaction that just happened right in front of me. I'm just like, okay, that just happened. If y'all need a moment, I could pull out my ropes and I could wait outside or something. Well, y'all got it on. I don't know. I don't care. It's none of my business. It's none of my business. Let me be out. When y'all finish, let me know. I'll come right back in. I mean, if you're good, you got your rocks off, good. Let's go back, let's eat something, and talk about the first trial. That's what I would have done. No spark of jealousy, no nothing. Marco just lost me. Why? As we walk into Amicus' room, I just can't help myself. So, is that the woven way of flirting? I ask it casually, trying to act like I don't mind. What? Definitely not. That damn jackal was assuming quite a lot. I mean, I feel myself blush. You were getting kind of hard while you had him pinned against the wall. I mean, I'm not offended or anything. I'm just curious about the culture, if that's how you guys go about things here. Amicus sighs heavily. I suppose wolves have a reputation for being aggressive when it comes to courting a mate, but those days are long gone. The jackal was simply relying on dated stereotypes. Okay. I adjust my robe a bit, the cold air of the room seeping through my still wet underwear. Not to pry too much, but... Dude, are you gay? Neferu seemed to imply that. Amicus freezes, staring at me. He doesn't seem to know what to tell me, like he's afraid of what my reaction might be. I remember then how stigmatized homosexuality is here. Homophobic slurs are used a lot in the films I've seen, including tail raiser and cock licker. Oh my god! It's weird because males seem to be pretty intimate with each other. Kissing and holding hands being common between close friends. However, there are lines that aren't crossed, and actually being gay was looked down upon, which is why Neferu accused Amicus of being. I quickly tried to reassure him. You know, it's a fairly accepted thing on Earth these days, and I have no issue with it. If you are, you can tell me. Amicus goes on staring at me for a little while longer, then sighs. I have a preference for males, yes. He winces right after saying that. Hey, it's fine. Like I said, it's pretty well accepted in a lot of places on Earth, but it explains why you were getting hard in front of Neferu. Listen, it wasn't what I was intending when I first grabbed him. I was trying to defend you. Ah, I see. Amicus blushes all over again. The wolf turns away and walks around to the sofa before slumping into it, leaning his face into a paw, looking frustrated. What's wrong? Well, that jackal for one, and I don't know. Are you disgusted with me now? Why would I be disgusted with you? I don't know. You must see past indecencies in a different light, like the massages and wrestling and the dance. I promise those are truly pet duties, and I was only having a bit of fun at the amphitheater, and I only did what the dance called for. I shake my head. I think you've been really good about not taking advantage of me at all. It's fine. Amicus looks at me, unsure. And you never had to do those things again if you don't want. I understand. I raise a hand up. Seriously, you're fine. Amicus looks away again, looking relieved but still ashamed. I'm sorry, it's just something that's bothered me most of my life. I had an incident happen several years back and it's created a lot of rumors about me. The people aren't very interested in having a tail raiser as their emperor. Amicus finally looks at me, so I tried to keep it quiet so that it might be forgotten, though it mostly was until the Khemian mentioned it. Amicus growls. Anyway, I'm sorry. I suppose it was something that I should have told you considering how close quarters we've been living. The wolf looks so dejected and so sad. I decided I should tell him. Oh my god. Oh, is our character gay too? I called it. Okay, I guess we could follow along with this. I mean, in real life I'm not gay, but you know I'm gay too, right? Amicus snaps his gaze back to me, eyes wide. What? I feel my face turning red. I'm the same. I like guys. Amicus squints at me, like he can't believe what I just said. Are you making fun of me? What? No! I'm telling you so you don't feel so bad about it. It's fine. Oh. That's quite the coincidence. Yeah, it is. Well, thank you for telling me. That isn't easy to do. At least, it isn't for me. I'm the same. I slowly walk over and sit on the sofa next to the wall, feeling strangely awkward about our little coming out conversation. Amicus still looks a bit uncomfortable, but at least he doesn't look sad anymore. So, since we're talking about all of this, what was Neferu saying about me? Helping you out with... Oh god. Helping you out with your shaft? Is that a pet duty too? Well, yes. Yes it is. But again, I would never ask that of you. Does Alex do that? Alex pulls a face. While I'd rather not think of my brother in such a situation, yes, he does. But does that mean your brother's gay too? No. Well, as far as I know, he doesn't have a preference for males. Isn't that what makes you a homosexual? I shrug. So I just give you a hand job or something? Where is this conversation going? Golly. I don't know how this is making me feel. I can tell that the Lingua had no trouble translating that to Amicus, because he immediately blushes again. I swear and wonder why I'm asking so much about this topic. I'm starting to wonder the same damn thing. Can we please move on to something else? I'm curious, and I already know that I'm attracted to this wolf. God damn it! Oh, this is no time to be having a crush right now. There's a time and a place for this, man. Friendship I can understand, but now you're taking things to a whole nother level. There's no time for this, man. I've given up on denying it a while ago. Son of a gun. It can involve a lot of things. I mean, if you want to do it, I have no objections, but it's your choice. Amicus sounds tentatively hopeful, and I realize that he actually wants it. Please don't. Not right now. I'll say this because of YouTube standards. It was already, I was trying to blur out everything from that sauna scene. But now I don't want a picture of a character giving this dude a hand job, okay? It seems like every day I'll go further and further with this wolf. I laugh, partly at Amicus' expression, and partly because of the absurdity of this entire situation. How about we win the dance trial? I'll think about it. I'm speaking without thinking. Amicus is quiet, then nods. Sounds fair. I try to think of something else to talk about, still shocked at what I just proposed. So what's the deal with Neferu? Why he do all that stuff in the bath? I honestly have no idea. It was very strange. Do you think that's his way of furthering an alliance? Not if he has any common sense. I thought he was going to be friendly considering he knows I'm open to the alliance, unlike Cassius. I lean back on the sofa, thinking, maybe he was just feeling you out. Amicus smirks at that. You could say that. Anyway, I don't know how to feel about him. I'm thinking of just telling him that I'm not interested in the alliance unless they send someone that has more tact. Amicus glances at me. What do you think? Oh god, we got another choice here. Well, it's clear that we still don't know much about him, and it seems like Virginia is holding him in high regards. And there's always been talks of the wolves trying to establish something with the Khemians. But what would I do in this situation? I mean, Neferu seems to know more than when he's letting on. And for some reason, I don't know whether this is just me, but I trust him a little bit more than I trust Alexios. Because already I already said from the last episode that I don't trust Alex, and what happened in the sauna proves that, because he's up her telling Neferu things. especially that we're supposed to be pretending to be dumb. And Neferu just came out and said, "Oh, I already know that you're not dumb. You can drop the facade. It's just me." And we're like, "Wait, how'd you know that?" Alex told me. So Alex is a snitch. So this is. I want to say talk to him more, because like Neferu hasn't shown like any hostility other than he has been pretty blunt and forward about what he's thinking. And I think that's a little bit more honest than what Alex has just provided. True, he has shown us around the palace, talked to us about some things, but overall, I don't think Alex has been 100% honest about a lot of things. I still think that he's holding back a lot more information. Just like we've been holding back information. So I'm going to say talk to him more. Well, I think if he's the only guy you have to establish an alliance with, you should try to work with him. I mean, this could be your best chance if you're willing to put up with him. And he seems to have the hots for you, so that'll probably help you, honestly. Maybe. But I don't know, I'm not a politician. But you are smart. Thanks. Anyway, I'm off to my shower. The whoop stands off and I do the same. Do you need help? Oh, really? Oh, for freak's sake. Yeah, I want to show him that things haven't changed, that I'm not scared of him and know that I know his secret. He looked so devastated when he told me. And even if Amicus was the one to get me into this mess, I know now that he's a good person and doesn't deserve to feel like that. I mean, I've seen your junk already, so no surprises there, right? I suppose not, but if you're sure. I'm sure. To decide things for the wolf, I walked into the shower. Amicus isn't far behind. Oh, God. Okay. Yeah, I do believe this is a good stopping point. Oh my God. A lot has happened. So let's recap of what all that just happened. So at the beginning, it starts off normal. Amicus is finally showing us how to prepare for the first trial, which is the dance of the Emperor falling for someone, and they had to make a decision. So showing us the dance. We were dancing for hours, practicing, but before that we were learning about, how things are progressing with the palace and the battle for the emperorship, all that boring political nonsense. And just get into the sauna, had a little bit of a sexual tension battle between Amicus and Neferu. That went somewhere, so that's going to be a lot of fun freaking blurring. Jeez. And then Amicus comes out as gay, and apparently so is Marco. And so that shifted in their friendship / relationship. I don't know what the hell they're going to be now, but God, it's a lot. That was a lot. And the reason I say it's a lot is because that just immediately had a 180. We were just chilling in the sauna. Next thing you know, Neferu comes in and just, I don't know what that was. I don't know. He was just trying to get some information. I think that's what he was doing. He was pushing for information, confirming things. Of course, getting the feel of Amicus and getting the feel of what's going on. And so lots of things were revealed. The story continues to be interesting despite all that being done. And for some reason, I'm still looking forward to the next chapter. And we will do that in the next episode. This is going on long enough. And so, thank you guys so much for watching and reading along with me. If you like what you saw, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, share with your friends, share with your family. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, check out the other content that I've done, and tune in next time where we continue on with Adastra. This is MasterGuil, and I'll see you all in the next chapter.